Sega.
Female characters. Ooh, big topic of the day.
How are female characters represented in video games?
They are objectified, sexualized, and degraded.
How many games have we seen where the female character is half naked or have totally exaggerated breasts and is super powerless?
In Gothic literature, women were objects to their families, their lover, and to the readers. They were to be powerless and have no voice in whatsoever.
Why couldn't she rescue herself? Why couldn't she talk back to any men?
It was created in a time where it was unimaginable of such a thing. But it isn't called a story for nothing.
Why couldn't it be acceptable to have independent women in those stories? By fear of having a revolution of women in that time? Perhaps.
In 2017, women have so much more rights, so much power, so why is it that they're still represented as such in video games? Here is some background information on female characters represented in video games.
We're going to debate how they're represented based on many games. Maybe you guys have played these games when you were children, teenagers, or even maybe now. So let's go on. We will talk about the damsel in distress, Princess Peach. So Princess Peach was introduced into the Mario games in 1985 as Mario's love interest. So let's analyze what Princess Peach wears in the game. She wears a beautiful pink dress, white gloves, she has blonde hair and blue eyes, the perfect princess. She basically has all the beauty features, but she has no skills. As a character, she cannot defend herself for her life.
Princess, look! On the statue's head!
Mario?
She is constantly kidnapped by Bowser, and she's always waiting for Mario to come and save her.
Now let's talk about Mario. Mario is the real knight. He is always ready to save Princess Peach, his damsel in distress.
Mario is a male character. He is strong, skilled, resourceful, intelligent, and doesn't need to be saved as he saves himself. His ultimate goal is to save the beautiful Princess Peach.
If you've ever played Mario Kart, you'll notice that even in Mario Kart, Princess Peach is slower. She has one attack, which are pink hearts that keep other people from hitting her with shells and bananas.
Princess Peach was developed on her appearance, and most damsels in distress wear dresses and they're extremely pretty.
So So hi, we're at EB Games because we wanted to research more about female characters in video games, and so we decided to come to EB Games and just ask them a few questions about the subject.
Moi, je suis Pascal Lambert, je suis assistant gérant au EB Games. Je suis joueur depuis que j'ai 4 ans.
Ah oui!
J'ai commencé à jouer sur la NES, SNES en montant. Après ça, j'ai découvert PlayStation, Xbox, puis j'ai acheté pas mal toutes les consoles depuis.
So what do you think about female characters in video games?
Je crois personnellement que les personnages féminins dans les jeux vidéo sont un peu mal représentés dans les 30 dernières années. Mais il y a eu un changement drastique dans les 10 dernières où les personnages féminins étaient plus présentes et un peu plus pertinentes que les époques précédentes. Surtout au moment où, tout dépendamment du setting du jeu, tout dépendamment de l'époque où le jeu se trouve, des fois c'était une excuse ou une raison un peu banalisante pourquoi la femme était toujours en détresse, pourquoi la femme devait être secourue plutôt que d'être un personnage pertinent, un personnage fort, comme les jeux un peu plus récents qui commencent à émerger.
Now let's concentrate on The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda has many versions. The one that I am most familiar with is the Ocarina of Time.
So like Princess Peach, Zelda has to be rescued by Link. She is also constantly kidnapped by Ganon, which is the villain. On the other hand, Zelda has a lot more power than Peach. She is 1/3 of the Triforce power, which means she has as much power as Link and as Ganon.
Now we ask ourselves, why is it that Zelda needs to be saved? Why can't she save herself?
Probablement à cause justement du principe de la Triforce. La Triforce étant les séparations des 3 pouvoirs principaux dans l'univers de Zelda. Link a le pouvoir du courage, Ganon qui va avoir le pouvoir de la force, et Zelda le pouvoir de la sagesse. C'est probablement le pouvoir qui est le moins porté au combat, le moins porté à l'aventure. Zelda n'a pas une absence de pouvoir, c'est juste qu'elle choisit peut-être de ne pas s'en servir parce qu'elle pourrait faire du mal, elle pourrait avoir des répercussions sur son environnement qui pourraient être négatifs, puis elle voudrait pas ça. Tandis que Link, son courage veut sauver le monde, veut sauver la princesse, qui les deux âmes sont interreliées. On l'a su dans le Hyrule Historia.
Oui, avec Hylia.
Exact. Puis il y a Ganon qui est son pouvoir, c'est le pouvoir. Donc lui, il veut juste tout détruire, il veut prendre le contrôle, il veut prendre la possession. Donc pourquoi ils sont pas au même niveau? Probablement parce que le pouvoir de Zelda est trop fort pour ce qu'elle voudrait pouvoir utiliser, j'imagine. Puis Ganon, son objectif, c'est de capturer Zelda ou de capturer le royaume d'Hyrule. Avec aussi Zelda le fait que quand elle se fait capturer, c'est généralement dans des moments où elle est un peu plus prompte à se faire avoir.
The game Zelda features Link on its covers. Here are some pictures. But is it unusual that it's named after her and the main character is Link?
Because Zelda is so popular, do you think the world would be ready to have a game of her own where she would be the one to save the man?
I mean, if you see it that way, yes, it seems like Link has most of the power. But in multiple games, they work together in the end. The only thing is, it ends up that Zelda gets kidnapped because she was trained to be more female-like, which is more of society's, I'd say, perspective and not the video game itself. But in the end, you would see them working together to beat the final boss, which is Ganon. She would support him, hold him off, give him some ammo. So I'd say, even though there was a reversal of roles, it wouldn't have a huge impact for sure, it would be original, but it wouldn't compromise with the main gameplay and story elements, which is a good thing, I'd say.
Now let's talk about Ubisoft saying that the new Assassin's Creed would not feature any female characters because their face and bone structures are hard to recreate. A lot of people raged about this comment, and a lot of tweets were sent to Ubisoft for that matter. Here are a few of them. There were a lot of strong female characters in the Assassin's Creed series. For example, let's take Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is Assassin's Creed 4. In that game, there was this assassin or a pirate who went by the name James Kidd. That character was actually a female character. Her name was Mary Read, and here's a picture. So this is Mary Read, and this is James Kidd, which is her, but as a man. So she was a strong pirate. Everybody knew her as James Kidd, and he was well known for all the skills he had. But then Kenway, who was the main character of the game, got to know that she's a female.
We could work together on this, you know. It's Lawrence Prince you're after. I want his prisoner.
We're after the Sage as well, Edward. Careful who you cross.
May the best man win.
There's guards patrolling that property from end to end. Looks to me like they use bells to signal trouble. See there? We'll want to disable those before pushing too far. With so many men about, we can't rely on stealth alone, so I'll do what I can to distract and draw their attention, giving you a chance to cut them down. Ready?
Your name's not James, is it?
Not most days. Come on.
But even then, even if nobody knew, as a female, they showed her getting captured in the game where Kenway had to go save her. And in the end, she passed away. So why is it that that strong female character, whom everybody in the fandom is a great fan of, had to be so shortly put in the game and had to be saved by, again, the man hero who was Kenway?
I suppose that's 2 men I've lost today. So, what's your real name, lass?
Mary Read to my mum. And them I call friends. But not a word of it to anyone. Or I'll unman you as well.
They really have no excuse as to why they did not want to put any female assassins. I mean, they did in the previous game, so why is it such a problem now? Female characters in video games have remained at a poor 15% ever since the 1990s. I mean, 48% of gamers are female, so not only would it be right, but it would be appropriate to actually have more female characters in video games, as we are a big majority of the population. There are 2 types of female characters in the world of video games. A, the damsel in distress, or B, the overly sexualized hero. The characters are based on a man's fantasy, which brings us to our next game.
Now let's talk about my ultimate favorite character and my favorite game, Tomb Raider. So, La Femme Fatale, as we call her, Lara Croft. So Lara Croft is very sexy. She's curvy, she's intelligent, she's courageous, she's not afraid to do anything. She's resourceful, and she's very, very strong. When people say that female characters are unskilled, a damsel in distress, or are weak in games, we think of Lara Croft because she is portrayed as completely the opposite, where she's the main character, she's very strong, she is independent, she is everything a man would like in a female. She is seen taking down a lot of men in an island where she's trapped and saving her friends and herself to try and escape the island. Lara Croft is very sexualized.
She has man's gameplay mechanics with an exaggerated, unproportioned body. Thankfully, with the new and improved version, she is way less sexualized, but she is, however, kidnapped by hundreds of thousands of men on this big island.
La réactualisation du personnage de Lara Croft, qui est beaucoup moins orientée au niveau de la sexualisation, au niveau du fantasme masculin qui était il y a 20 ans lors de sa création, qui était fait complètement déproportionné, un peu comme une Barbie, mais maintenant le nouveau personnage a été beaucoup moins sexualisé, donc ça évolue selon l'époque dans le jeu vidéo. Mais la sexualisation des fois est justifiée ou pas.
In a lot of games, zero to no armor is worn by the female character, whereas the man is already armored and ready for combat. Such as in the game Bayonetta, there's a lot of examples of that particular matter.
Ses vêtements, c'est ses cheveux. Donc, son pouvoir utilise ses cheveux. Puis ça, il y a toute une explication aussi dans le lore derrière les sorcières, les witches, qui vont être sexualisées, mais dans le lore derrière ça. Et Bayonetta suit le lore. Contrairement à ce qu'on pourrait penser des fois que Bayonetta est hyper sexualisée, elle l'est juste assez. En fonction de son histoire, de sa catégorie de personnage. Effectivement, elle est intéressante au niveau visuel pour un public masculin adolescent. Ça, c'est probablement un peu voulu aussi pour les ventes. Mais ça suit quand même un schéma qui est raisonnable.
In the game, Bayonetta uses her power, and every time she uses her power, her clothes rip.
At least your lot still knows how to make an end.
Rosalind Whiteman, Charlie Kunn, and Ashley Birch surveyed 1,400 adolescents across US, and 47% of those, which were boys, thought that women in video games were way too objectified. Also, 55% of the boys that call themselves gamers think that women in video games are too sexualized and they would prefer to play a character that has much more dignity.
Je crois que les personnages féminins devraient être un peu plus incorporés dans l'univers du jeu vidéo, parce qu'autant un bon personnage masculin peut apporter un univers intéressant, qu'autant qu'un personnage féminin peut apporter un autre univers intéressant. Il y a eu plusieurs jeux où c'était des personnages féminins qui avaient le rôle principal, qui était vraiment très intéressant. On va parler justement de Samus avec Metroid, on va parler de Bayonetta, qui est un jeu exceptionnel.
Female characters, I'd say female characters on male are the same. The most important part should be that they're implemented the right way. If they're implemented, let's say for fan service or for sexual reasons, that might be wrong, it might be good, it depends on the consumer. But if they're implemented to adapt to it, let's say some relations or a good reason or just to add diversity, I'd say that would be a more appropriate reason to having female characters in a video game. So there are some places where there needs to be some improvements, but otherwise female characters should be present because they're just as present in society like males and in video games as well.
It would be amazing for the future to have more female characters, independent and strong, instead of damsel in distress. Because we are tired of it.
So what do you think?